Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new video over on the channel covering Sorare. So today's video, what we're going to be doing is talking about how much money I've made in the last 3 weeks due to trading. And just I guess everything we've learned in the last 3 weeks going into tomorrow's £10 Road to Glory. So tomorrow what we're starting is a brand new Road to Glory where we're going to start on £10. I'm going to take everything off the account apart from a tenner, and we're going to trade our way up from £10. So it should be a really good Road to Glory. I'd say episodes uploaded every single day, just covering trading, investing, and SO5 eventually when we get up to that budget. But starting at a tenner, the real hardcore grind. Well, you know, what I'm going to do right now is I guess talk about what I've done in the last 3-4 weeks in terms of trading and making money and so on. So, I guess we'll just talk about how much money we've made in the last, well, it's actually, I guess, close to coming up to a month now. Now, about a month ago, I decided to go and play Sorare off the back of watching, I think it was a bunch of Nep and Charney videos. And I was like, I think I had the old, well, it felt like close to the Rona. I don't think I had the Rona in the end, but I just felt really shattered. So, what I decided to do is I didn't really stream because I was like, I don't have the energy in me. Sounds pathetic, but I didn't have the energy in me to go and do like the normal 8-9 hour streams. So I was like, alright, well, you know, I'm not going to stream. I was like, I can't bring myself to sitting in bed all day, even if it is the best thing. So I was like, alright, I'll do a bit of trading on it. So what I did was just apply my FIFA knowledge onto Sorare, and you know, it's crazy how 1-for-1 it is. It's very similar to FIFA. So, you know, I've been trading for the last month. Now, when I first started trading, I did deposit £1,000. Now again, you know, it's quite a risky thing to do on a site, you know, where it's surrounding crypto and NFTs. We've seen 101 rug pulls or scams with NFTs and things. So something you always got to be careful with, but, you know, I took the gamble. Again, I don't like NFTs and crypto, I'm not going to lie. I think it's very hype driven. I think it's a load of bollocks, really. I think if there's no hype, they're not worth anything. And in reality, that's the same with this site. You know, if there's no hype, if there's no demand for the cards, you've got to realise all the rewards are cards. But if there's no demand for the cards, then said cards are useless. The terms of these being NFTs is complete bollocks. Like, no one cares about the collectability of collecting a, I don't know, like a 1 of 1,000 Japanese guy. But the reason I put the grand on is because I kind of back it, really. You know, football and gambling. You know, football is disgustingly popular when it comes to gambling. Now, you know, there is a level of gambling to it. There's a level of fantasy football. You know, fantasy football super popular. I mean, no, gambling and football super popular. So basically, because of those two, I was like, you know, besides the crypto, besides the NFTs, I think this idea is super popular. I think it's, you know, I think it's a banging idea, and I think, you know, if you were to just go and do a fancy football, you know, if you were to do this but take away the crypto and take away the NFTs, it's a beautiful. It sounds like a great idea. It's just a shame that NFTs and crypto have a lot of connotations around scams, and as a result, it makes it a little, you know, a little bit ugly as such. But I think they need that to get through like gambling loopholes and so on. So yeah, so we put £1,000 on. Look for YouTube trading content. You know, there really isn't that much out there in terms of short-term trading. A lot of trading consists of buy this player, sell them in 2-3 months time. Buy this player, sell them in 2-3 weeks time. There's very little buy, and sell within like a 24-48 hour window. Obviously, we know people do it. You know, you got people like Powell. You got, you know, people with massive galleries out there that we know do it, and it's good on them. But there just isn't much content out there in terms of trading, which is hopefully where some sort of niche I can bring comes to the table. But yeah, so just been doing trading. Started off with a lot of bidding, then transitioned underway some sniping, and sending over loads of trade offers. All the videos on the YouTube channel if you want to check out my the trading methods. So basically just proceeded to do a lot of trading, learning a lot of things. You know, took like I think biggest losses are like €30, taking €10 losses, and so on and so on. Just learning the market, really. When I've done trading, I've traded in nothing but euros. A lot of people say, oh, risky, you know, you might not make any money. Well, I mean, I have made money and I've done nothing but trade in euros. Now, I probably would make a bit more if I did the old Ethereum, but you know, you can trade very user-friendly, as I will explain in a sec. Now I've taken a fair few losses, and when it comes to this final profit, I do think this final profit could be a little bit higher if I wasn't in so much of a hurry to sell players. One of the main things on here, if you're in a hurry to sell stuff, you're going to be selling yourself very short. You know, you're going to take another 5-10% hit on what you normally could take. Likewise, ideally you may be waiting for that game where the they stop getting at DMPs, and that, you know, they play a good game, and, you know, as a result, you're going to sell them in the hype. Well, obviously, you know, you don't have the luxury of that if you're in a hurry to sell in the next week. So, as I say, about a month ago, deposited £1,000, took a bit of a gamble with it. I don't think there are many fees when it comes to depositing. I think, you know, deposit £1,000, maybe 990 quid minimum. I didn't really look into the fees overly too much. Did it all via RampPay, and then proceeded to trade. The profit we're coming out with is, so I've already withdrawn. I have no idea if showing you this data here is risky. I believe it isn't, but we've got we've withdrawn £842, £22.90, £22.90. Now, when you're withdrawing money, it doesn't actually charge you to withdraw it, but when you convert it from Ethereum to pounds, it does. So, if you are withdrawing money, you can withdraw it like this. When converting to Ethereum, please do just convert large numbers, not numbers like these, because these you're going to have a £2 fee on, and these are going to have a £4 fee on. Whereas a percentage of the fee, you know, obviously you want to, you know, that's only a 0.04% fee, whereas this is coming at a 10% fee even. So, yeah, when withdrawing money, do withdraw, you know, one big amount rather than multiple small amounts. Or at least withdraw the Ethereum onto your crypto and then, you know, then do it. But yeah, so we've withdrawn the equivalent of £887 worth of crypto. There's obviously £560 worth of crypto in the account. I also went and paid my graphic artist £100. So if I can go show you right here, crypto's actually dropped 10% as of recently. So that's what's it called. That's obviously decreased the profit a little bit. Where is it? Offer sent. There you go. Yeah, I decided to pay my graphics guy over here. So there you go. I've sent over what was £9, and I'd say, you know, it's taken almost a 10% hit, because I think I sent him just over 100. So there's another 100 right there. So now I have to load up another tab down. So yeah, how much we made? So we've made 100 plus the 561 plus the 887, which means we've made £1,549. Obviously deposited 100. Fees of that are going to be no more than like £7 if I was to withdraw it all in one, that's saying. So we'd be making about £140 after fees. Yeah, so, you know, it's not too bad. Bear in mind, you know, I've had to learn everything off my own back. You know, all I've done is just apply FIFA logic or FIFA trading knowledge to the likes of Sorare. Traded nothing but euros once again. But here's quite an interesting thing, is that I actually got in the old Ethereum. You know, I mean, this is probably slightly the reason why I got on it, but I actually got into Ethereum, if I can show 1 month, right here. This is where I deposited my grand. So when Ethereum was 2.3, look at that. And now Ethereum is 2.8. So actually Ethereum has gone up about 20%, which actually leaves to quite an interesting thing. What if I was just to buy my Ethereum and hold on to it? Because have I actually made money via trading? Or have I literally just done absolutely nothing? But Ethereum's gone up, which is, you know, obviously made me money. Well, I did a little bit of maths on this. I bought Ethereum when it was about £1,800. That means I got 0.55 Ethereum for my £1,000. 0.55 Ethereum right now is worth £1,170, which means that if I was to actually not trade whatsoever, and in the time frame I've been trading, so basically the last month, I would have actually just made 170 quid off Ethereum. Now, obviously, there would be taxes on that, so maybe it would have been like 160, maybe 150 with buying tax. So, you know, with trading, I've gone and made myself 550. But actually, if I was just to hold it, I would have made it £150. But, you know, so if you want to look at it, you could go, well, actually, in reality, in the month, I've only really made £400. Because you could say, well, £170 of that has come from the inflation of Ethereum since buying it. You know, fair point. You could also say that actually probably about 50 quid has come from referrals, because I do keep half the value of the referral card. Although sometimes I do just give people like the full value of the referral if, you know, they get like 4 or 5 quid, or I don't know, I feel like they got a bad player and I maybe give them more than the referral. You know, just random stuff like that. So you could also take 50 quid of that. If you say, well, actually I only made about 320 quid in the last month. If you divide that by the amount of hours I've been trading, that's awful. But then I'd say, like, you have to realise I've learned everything off my own back this month. You know, I've taken losses of like 30 quid, 10 quid and all that lot. Obviously, I've been in a hurry to sell. So there's things going for and against with me buying and selling. You know, I'm fully aware of the things that have worked in my favour and the things that work out on my favour. But yeah, now let's go and talk about all the things I've learned in the last month of trading. First off, we'll start off with bidding. Bidding is, when it comes to trading, pretty useless. It sucks, but everything that is cheap gets overbidded on. This is because of the affiliate cards. And everything expensive, the majority of the cards you're winning are actually downfalling cards. For example, I recently did a video, and I thought I won a really, really expensive player. Don't know if I can remember his name, but it was a Turkish League goalkeeper. I won 20 quid cheaper than we went for. Perfect, 20 quid cheaper than we went for. But in reality, the only reason I won him for 20 quid cheaper than we went for is because there was no demand for him. In fact, it wasn't on, like, if he wasn't on an overly downwards trend, it would have been a lot easier spot, but it wasn't that he was on an overly downwards trend, because he actually rose a few days prior to that. It was just no one had bought him in the last 48 hours, and no one was buying him, which meant that this card that I got was 20 quid cheaper than the next, actually started at 100 and just dropped and dropped and dropped, because it was what we call in the game a buyer's market. A buyer's market is when there are way more people selling a card than buying a card, which means that all these people are competing on listing cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, but no one's actually buying, which means they get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And actually, the card that I thought I'd made 20 quid on, I actually sold at break even on a trade offer for player value. So, that's, and likewise with a few of the cards actually I went on bid, they were cheaper than the next, but the problem is, the reason I won them on bid is because of low demand, and low demand meant that actually the profits that I thought I was going to get were very minuscule compared to the profits that I actually got. So that's one thing with bidding is, I'll be honest with you, you'd obviously get the absolutely, you get the odd cracking deal on it, but a lot of cheap stuff, again, a lot of cheap stuff is overpaid for because of affiliate. A lot of expensive stuff, you got to just try and sell relatively fast, because normally, obviously, it's subjective to the card, but the trends I found, a lot of the expensive cards were just dropping very fast. So, moving on to other points. One thing I probably should have done a little bit more is listing for the cheaps on the market. I wasn't listing, well, I was listing for what the average on the market is, and I don't think that's bad, because the trends in when players are the cheaps on the market, so between whenever a player's finished their game on the weekend, between that point and Thursday, as long as the player's played, their price is going to be pretty stable. Let me go and get paint up, because there's no way of explaining what I'm doing without using paint. So, there you go, you guys can see paint, perfect. So let's say this is going to be the graph of a player. Let's just do the trend of a week. We got Sunday, we'll pretend they played on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, is Friday. Alright, so we've got the price of a player, right? And on Saturday, let's just say they had a mediocre game, they played as well as people expected them to. So what will normally happen is the player will just hold value, right? They'll hold value, hold value, hold value, hold value, hold value. Let's go and say they play on the Sunday. They'll hold value, and then on the Sunday, if they play well, they go up. If they don't play well, they go down. And if they play mediocre, they hold. So, in reality, actually, what happens is they actually rise a little bit more on the Thursday. So maybe it's a little bit closer to this sort of graph. So you go like Wednesday, Thursday, and they actually have more of a rise on Thursday, and then they might like lower down there. But yeah, so how the trend basically works is after they play the game, again, as long as they have a mediocre game, they're going to hold all the way through to Friday. Then they're going to go and play the game, and if they play well, they go up. If they don't play well, they go down, and if they play mediocre, they hold. So the relevance of this is when you're selling for the cheaps on the market, the only time I'd say you're in really a hurry to sell for the cheaps on the market is if the player had a DNP the game before, and they're normally a starter. Basically, if a player is on a downwards trend, you want to sell for the cheaps on the market. If you want to play it safe as well, you want to sell them before their next game. Because again, how a player plays in the game, in DNP, high score, low score, subbed off, injured, there's so many outcomes that actually make it quite risky holding a player going into their game. Which is, yeah, so with selling players, cheaps on the market, cheapest on the market if they're playing a game very soon, as in like that day or maybe one day before the game, or again if they're on a downwards trend due to having a bad game. This actually leads me to one of the best players to trade with are actually the youngsters who don't play, because if you're trading with the youngsters that don't play, there are zero variables that affect their price, because these guys don't play, which means if they get in, well, they're not really going to get injured, so that's not going to have an effect. They're already not hitting the main team, so you're not going to have them falling out the team. obviously, you got a little bit of transfer news. You know, again, you have a little bit of injury in there. But there's basically, the players that don't play but have value because maybe they're young, maybe they're, you know, expected to get in the team. These guys are banging to trade with because, again, they fluctuate very little because there's no variables and no factors for these guys to go up and down in price because they're just not playing one way or the other. You'll find this with a lot of the 18 to like 20-year-olds for like major teams like Olympic Marseille have a lot of players like this. And again, a lot of the cards that end up having rookie cards are a lot like this. You know, DMPs across the whole year almost. But because obviously they're playing in the reserve teams, so the under-23 teams. And yeah, they just end up being really, really nice cards to trade with because there's, you know, very, very, very little risk with them. Let's see what we've got there. In terms of investing, I haven't really done any investing in the last month. Best players, those who have no DMPs. Talking about bidding sucks. Yes, here's something I've learned about but haven't occurred. So one of my favorite ways is trading. Trading is trade offers. Because trade offers are really good because you can literally find a player and then you go, well, all these cards on the market are quite decent deal, and you go, €2 cheaper trade offer, €2 cheaper trade offer, €2 cheaper trade offer, €2 cheaper. And it's an absolutely banging way of trading. I actually love trading with just sending trade offers. It does require high-ish capital or money because obviously once you send over a trade offer, you don't have any money. But you know, if you can go and send out like 100 trade offers or like 30, 40 trade offers at a time, it's so good because a lot of people are just letting cards go for cheapo. So if you send over trade offers, that's how you're going to get your cards for cheapo. This thing I didn't realise though is when you send over a trade offer, I don't know if I've got any active right now. Maybe I'll be able to find some that. When you send over a trade offer, when doing this, what you can do is you can block the person. So for example, like you can accept it or deny it. Accepted it here. But if I wanted, I could go and block this person. Well, actually, if you occur too many blocks within, I don't know, maybe a 24-hour period, you get banned on the site for 3 days. So obviously, I really hope we don't come across this on the trading road to glory because, you know, stunt all sort of growth. But yeah, so that's one thing you got to watch out with trade offers. And the reason apparently they do this is because obviously some people out there just spam trade offer expensive cards, hoping that the person messes up and buys them. So to stop people doing that and just, you know, just maybe even to stop bots, what they do is they basically go, all right, chill a bit. We think you're, you know, either harassing people on the site practically via trade offers, or you know, we're trying to maybe some bot or something like that. So you get a 3-day ban if you do that. Obviously, you get your account all back, but you know, no one's a 3-day ban to something they're addicted to trading on or playing on. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Final thing we're just going to talk about is referral cards. I've been lucky enough to receive 22 referral cards. As I'm in no mad hurry to push this. You know, if you guys want to use a referral link, you can. You know, we're quite close to the unique. Although I've also done a fair bit of research on the unique. And well, I mean, I'm very lucky and very privileged because the average unique comes in about 1 to 2 grand. They don't give off crazy stuff. What I did, I just stalked a bunch of the top guys' galleries and looked at all the uniques, and all the uniques that the top guys have. None of them are referral cards, but you know, I don't know, it'd be pretentious, is that the word? Naive to believe that they're just gonna go and give 100k cards on uniques. But you know, I say, you know, when we do hit 30 there, I will get a unique. I will just take the money off the account. So we're doing a £10 Road to Glory. The last thing you want to do is watch a £10 Road to Glory and boom, halfway through it, the person goes and gets a 2 grand card. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, I say it will sit on the account until, you know, we get a decent trade offer for it or whatever. But yeah, so look, quite lucky, quite close. But in terms of the cards though, there actually is, well, it's quite interesting. A lot of times people go, it depends on how much someone spends, depends on how good the card is. Now, I'll be honest with you, unless maybe someone's spending insane money, all the cards have been equal to the next. I've had people who've gone and spent, because I did wonder, and I did look into this a little bit, but people who've spent like 20 quid have had referral cards for 20 quid, so, you know, and likewise, people who spend like maybe 100 have had cards that are like £4 or £5. So, in reality, your average card is coming about £6-7, but it's not fully direct with how much someone spends is how much someone gets. I mean, can I go and see? Because this guy came in at 18. You got, well, I mean, this guy's going to bought some players if he's got Rainer and that lot. But yeah, so I saw a guy won a bundle for like 22 quid, and the referral card he got was 20 quid. So that's that with referrals. Is you on the whole will get cheap rubbish, but said cheap rubbish isn't fully to how much you spend on the first 5 cards. But I think that's wrapped up. Hopefully I'm not waffling too much. But that is just my experience of 1 month of trading on Sorare. Obviously, brand new Road to Glory starts tomorrow. It will be streamed the day you're watching this from 6 PM to probably about 10 PM, where we're going to start with a brand new account with a tenner, and then it gets uploaded in the morning every day. But thank you very much for watching. Very, very excited about the Road to Glory tomorrow. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.